So, since we've mentioned it, perhaps we should get to the feature presentation, as somebody said.
Who's up next to try to manipulate the cafeteria crowds?
First, we should probably get a recap going, right?
Do we really need to?
Just, the too long in reading the events so far, the Dazzlings, that is Adagio, Dazzle, Riot Blaze, and Sonata Dusk, have shown up at Canterlot High, being guided by Sunset Shimmer, and we find out that Canterlot High is easily manipulated by just a simple song, as evidenced by Pinkie Pie influencing everybody to wear pink.
And Adagio and her sidekicks persuading them to fight against each other and have a battle of the bands instead of just a simple music exhibition.
And the author, as I pointed out, the author made Sonata even more of a dumbass than she was in Rainbow Rocks. I should say I took a look at the next few chapters. It only gets worse in Sonata's case. But it's better than Pinkie. It's Sonata than Pinkie in your case, I guess.
Let's see. Oh, our next chapter is Applejack.
Yeah, you like Applejack. You like Applejack, don't you?
Well, I wouldn't say she's best pony, but she's a good one. She's a good character nonetheless.
Yes. So let's dive back into this madness with the next two. Well, let's see how far we can get, right?
Well, okay. I did promise somebody that I'd go to G-Cinema today and try out. I found out that your certain people are able to queue up videos that are on their Google Drives. I'm gonna try that. I decided to put on my Google Drive one of the Halloween movies that we did earlier this month.
Nice. And here's hoping my internet holds, because it's been kind of unfair lately, but no promise. Anyways, let's continue on with Cafeteria controlled by Justice for... Is it stop?
No? What?
Okay, sorry, I thought you went silent. I thought my internet was derping for a second there.
No, it's just me being silent.
Alright,
let's... Not only that, just in case, I got a hold of a pillow just in case.
Good thinking. Anyways, let's continue on with Cafeteria controlled by Justice 4243. Chapter 2, Applejack's Song. I do wonder how poor Sunset handled getting nommed on by Pinkie. The ending of the last chapter was pretty vague. Now that you think about it. I won't. Let's go. A few hours after the first bell rang, Sunset made her way to lunch and sat down at her usual table with the handful of friends that were already there. Business as usual for her, save that almost the entire school body was wearing pink clothing. What the hell, guys? Also, Sunset's hair was a frazzled mess full of bubblegum. What? Rainbow Dash protested. You still have almost all your hair. No thanks to any of you! Sunset cried. Sorry, Sunset, Applejack said, but I couldn't rightly interfere with a bet. Why, that'd be more dishonest than a snake. If you make one more farm simile, I swear I will set fire to your home! Jesus.
Well, yeah, the writer's going a little too much into Applejack's country deals.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
Applejack paused. Fair enough. I wasn't sure where I was going with that one anyway. Applejack scooped up a spoonful of some gooey pink unidentifiable substance which had just replaced the gooey brown unidentifiable... I can't English. Which had just replaced the gooey brown unidentifiable substance on the menu. So wait, you're telling me the food's pink now too?
And it's unidentifiable. If only it had been in my school, they at least have the options of menu, or a pizza and fries, or a burger and fries.
Oh God.
That's
Come on.
It was a perfect idea in my school, though. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dash shot Sunset an indignant look. Look, you could have came out ahead of all this, but you had to put Pinkie in a chokehold and keep all your stupid hair. If you just let her eat it all, I would have split the money with you. Really, Dash?
Really, how much did they bet, Sunset?
You only bet $10! Sunset cried. And you gave Applejack 2-to-1 odds in her favor! I wasn't gonna let Pinkie eat my hair for a measly $2.50!
Wait. Half... Okay, the math checks out.
Oh. A crisp green bill slowly rose in front of Sunset. Well, here's for you. A slightly hoarse, high-pitched voice asked, "Will you let me eat your hair for $5? One of Sunset's eyes twitched in irritation. "Pinky, put that away before I choke you into submission." Try that again. "Pinky, put that away before I choke you into unconsciousness again." So it seems Sunset did manage to get a shot in on Pinky.
Fucking could have killed her, but then again, we wouldn't complete the movie.
Mm-hmm. Pinky made a disappointed "aww" before placing the bill back in her massive mop of pink curls. "Besides," Sunset said, "I don't get why you're so fixated on my hair. I mean, just look at Rainbow Dash." Sunset motioned out to Dash. Pinky obediently turned and looked at Rainbow Dash. "Just look at all the colors in her hair." Damn. Can't tell how sick a burn that is, but
No,
yeah.
wait. I don't think it's a burn. Continue.
Rainbow Dash chuckled. "Yeah, they are pretty awesome. Can you imagine what eating her hair must taste like?" Ooh.
I think we're going with the Rainbow Dash equals Skittles trope again.
Oh. Feel the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Grow
Pinky's
a rainbow
eyes-
like hair.
Pinky's eyes went wide as she inhaled a large volume of air. Rainbow Dash chuckled. "Yeah." Her eyes suddenly went wide as she processed Sunset's words. "Wait, what?" "Gimme!" Pinky cried as she suddenly jumped across the table and pounced on Rainbow Dash, bringing both girls to the floor. Well, payback.
It's a bitch, ain't it?
"Ah! Get off of me!" Rainbow cried as she placed her hands on Pinky's face and held her away from her hair. Pinky was unrelenting, however, and soon she had slipped past Rainbow's defenses and was face down in her hair with a mouthful of it. Sunset smiled to herself, then turned towards Applejack. "Want to bet Pinky gets through 3 colors before Rainbow Dash manages to push her off?" "You're on!" Applejack said.
Well, I thought there would be a saying thing for this, but I totally forget it.
"Yeah." "Oh, haha, I get it," Rainbow Dash said, as she continued to attempt to push Pinky off of her. "Yeah, not so fun. When it's your hair being chewed. Lesson learned. Can you guys help me now?" Rainbow Dash cried. Sunset said, "Pinky, chew harder." "Yay!" Pinky exclaimed. Soon she was face-deep in the rainbow color of hair once again. "Oh my gosh!" she cried as she surfaced from their rainbow locks. "Girls, every color's a different flavor!"
Skittles.
"Nom the rainbow, taste the rainbow." I wonder how many jokes we'll be able to make of that before it gets old.
I don't know, but I'm getting complaints. People having a minute or two of the stream and all of a sudden it cuts off and picks up again a few seconds later. I don't know what's going on with them, but this is about as best as I can get. Not only that, I'm using Procaster to follow along with this.
Well, the recording will still be saved, right?
Yeah, well, I'm recording it.
Yeah, because anyways, let's try to press on, shall we?
Let's try.
"Girls! Girls!" Rarity cried as she ran up with a pink tray. Oh, Jesus. Everything is pink now, not just the clothes, but a pink tray with a bowl of rice covered in some vegetables and cooked meat, a pair of chopsticks, a purple juice box, and an apple. "This is hardly the way one should conduct themselves at lunchtime." Sunset scowled at her. "At lunchtime? Why? Was it somehow more acceptable for Pinky to try eating my hair in the morning?" "I'm sorry, Sunset," Rarity said, "but lunchtime is when I realign my key." "Excuse me?"
I think she meant chi.
Mm-hmm. She motioned to herself. "I need a stress-free environment if I'm going to be properly balanced for the rest of the day." Sunset raised her...
Balance in high school, honey. You won't need balance.
Mm-hmm.
You need a fucking like a how should I say this? How about a lot of money, good grades, or inventive ways to cheat without getting caught?
Mm-hmm. Anyways. Sunset raised her index and middle fingers on both her hands up to her temples and began massaging them. Seriously? You eat lunch with Pinkie Pie, and you actually use lunchtime as some sort of meditation period to recharge your chi? Yep, you're right, it was chi. Rarity frowned and looked down at Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie, who continued to struggle on the cafeteria floor. Well, I must admit, it's harder to find my center some days more than others. Also, it's key, darling.
Fuck you, Rarity.
Sunset rolled her eyes. You are such a frickin' weeb, you know that? The fuck's a weeb? Never mind. Never mind. Oh. Hey! Pinkie cried as she perked her head up, several strands of multicolored hair in her mouth. Yes! Rainbow Dash cried triumphantly as she quickly got off the floor and rushed around to the other side of the table. Pinkie continued, How do you know Rarity's white? Excuse me? No, not her skin tone. Oh, excuse me, I skipped a bit. Sunset stared blankly at Pinkie. Is this a trick question? Rarity is as white as they come. No, not her skin tone. Duh! Pinkie said. I mean, it's not like all the kids here all have natural skin tones. Maybe Rarity is something other than white and we don't know, Pinkie giggled. I mean, do you have any idea how much the internet would flip out if they gave us all normal skin tones? The entire blogosphere would burn down because of all the flame wars.
Finally, someone explains why we couldn't put normal skin tones on the ponies.
And it was Pinkie Pie of all ponies and people.
Not only that, Jesus H. Christ, if we try to diversify, people will get in a fucking rage fit. Hasbro probably sort of saw this coming. Jesus, I think it really has been paying attention.
Indeed. Anyways, continuing on from that nice little diversion from Pinkie's usual brand of madness.
Oh, hold on. A question that comes from Starfire. Who is an expert in ponies? Twilight, originally a pony, feeling attracted to the human Flash Sentry, isn't the inversion of Clop what?
I have no idea.
Wait a minute. Twilight, wait a minute, I'm trying to understand this. Hang on, give me a minute. Let me reread the question.
Twilight Sparkle, who originally is a pony, feeling attracted to the human Flash Sentry, isn't that the inverse of Clop? Well, considering how Flash Sentry is also in Equestria, I don't really think so.
I guess it kind of transcended between pony and human. I
suppose so. Anyways, continuing on. Sunset looked back and forth over the other three people sitting on the table. Do you girls know what the heck she's talking about, or do you just sort of ignore it for the sake of keeping sane? Definitely option number 2, Applejack said. Oh my, yes, Rarity said with a nod. The second one, Rainbow Dash said as she attempted to adjust her hair with a hand. She pulled a disgusted face as she pulled back a hand coated in slobber. Well, now that's out of the way, Applejack said, as a smile slowly spread across her face and she held out a hand in front of Sunset. Sunset sighed and reached into her coat. She pulled out a black leather wallet, opened it, and pulled a bill from it. She handed the bill to Applejack, who happily accepted it. Now, you'll excuse me, Applejack said as she stood up from the table. I've got some business to attend to. Sunset gave Applejack a suspicious look at Applejack's cryptic remark, but something else quickly caught her attention. Fluttershy walked up, lunch tray in hand, and sat down next to Rainbow Dash. Sunset took one look at her contents and groaned. Celery again? Fluttershy bowed her head slightly, causing a little bit of her long pink hair to fall in front of her face. Well, I mean, I did get 2 stalks this time. It's celery! Sunset cried. After your body digested poorly, you've barely taken in any calories. Double of almost nothing is still almost nothing! Jeez.
But I bet she has a refutal.
Fluttershy looked at Sunset with an almost frightened look. But it's full of vitamin K!
Honey, you're only getting 1 vitamin. For a proper body to function, you need a balance of all vitamins and minerals.
Yeah. Oh boy! Sunset said sarcastically. Looks like your bones will be nice and strong and any wounds you receive will close up nicely, which is good with all the fainting and falling you'll be doing! Fluttershy whimpered. Rainbow Dash glared at Sunset. Will you cut her some slack? You already picked on her yesterday. She's trying to lose weight when she's already ridiculously thin! Sunset cried, motioning emphatically towards Fluttershy. I'm trying to help her! Sunset sighed. Am I wrong from not wanting one of my friends to... Sunset was interrupted as the doors to the cafeteria were thrown open as Applejack walked in holding her base. Aw, crap.
A misspelled base.
Yeah. It's B-A-S-S, not B-A-S-E. Anyways, I don't think that matters too much.
Well, also, come to think of it, Sunset, if you really want to help Fluttershy, I think you're going to need to buy her some food. Lots of food.
Yeah.
Shove it down her throat, maybe. Nah, that's not a good idea.
Oh, just wait till the later chapters. Anyways, no spoilers. Sunset sighed and raised a hand to her face. Oh, hell. Hey, everybody, Applejack said. Are you tired of deciding between too many meal items every lunch? The room went silent. No, someone called out.
We're doing fine on our own, thank you.
Applejack began to strum a few chords on her bass. Oh, now he spells it right. Well, I have just a solution. With that, Applejack broke into song.
You didn't need to. They didn't want you to. God damn it.
If choices at lunch is something which you grapple, don't despair, just have apples.
God damn it.
Applejack concluded her tune with a few more strums on her bass, then took a bow as she took off her cowboy hat. Wow, shortest song ever. The cafeteria erupted into cheers and applause. Applejack smiled and put her hat back on, then walked back to the table where all her friends were sitting at. Pinkie smiled wide as she continued clapping enthusiastically. Awesome song, AJ! That rocked! Rainbow Dash nodded. Heck yeah! That was tight! Rarity swung a fist in front of her chest. A rip-roaring tune, if there ever was one! Fluttershy said quietly, Yay! Sunset blinked a few times, staring at Applejack. That was it? Applejack lifted her right hand and absent-mindedly examined her fingernails. Less is more, Sugar Cube. Oh, next day. Sunset looked down at her pink shirt and pink skirt and sighed as she walked down the sidewalk. Oh, right. Well, I guess she has to avoid the mob somehow. She still wore her same knee-length leather boots and leather jacket, and even made sure the pink shirt she bore... Excuse me, try that again. She even made sure the pink shirt still bore her yellow and red cutie mark, but she still shifted uncomfortably under the unfamiliar items. She gave an even heavier sigh and shook her head as she walked onto the CHS campus, noting every student seemed to be munching on an apple or some sort of baked good, no doubt made with apples. So again, Applejack easily influences another crowd.
These people are truly spineless and brainless. And $5 says she's gonna get mobbed again.
And 5 seconds later, hey! It's Sunset Shimmer again! Sunset once again froze in place next to the large horse statue as a crowd formed a semicircle around her. Wow, you called that pretty quickly. Hey, it's cool, alright? Sunset opened her jacket slightly so everyone could better see what she was wearing. I have pink on! No need to go spastic with gum or anything! She's not eating anything apple-related! Someone cried in an accusatory tone. Ah, jeez.
Give me $5, motherfucker. I called it.
We'll figure it out. Okay, just... What? Sunset said in disbelief. You're all harassing me because I'm not eating an apple this very second? Let's assault the apple hater!
God damn it.
Sunset cried. Please! No, yeah, with apples even! Snails! Stop being such a follower and just do what I... Sunset's eyes went wide as everyone lifted apples and an assortment of baked goods up. She threw her hands in front of her and waved them about. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Everyone chill for a second. Someone just hand me an apple and ouch! A big green apple bounced off of Sunset's forehead. Sunset rubbed the area the apple had just hit. Not what I meant. Get her! No, wait! Ah!
Oh, god damn it.
Sunset cried out as she was suddenly pelted with apples and baked goods as the students around her let loose with their conveniently hand-sized items at her. Soon the crowd had finished with their apple assault and parted. Sunset merely knelt on the ground with her face pressed to her thighs, covering her head with her arms as best she could. Ugh, man. Poor Sunset.
She might as well just stay home.
Sunset looked up. I know. Sunset looked up, her face and clothes covered in crushed apple as well as pastry that had been thrown at her. Tears streamed from her eyes. But, I would have just eaten something if someone gave it to me. Well. Look what the angry orchard dragged in. Huh?
Fuck.
Sunset looked up to see Adagio, Araya, and Sonata standing above her and grinning wickedly down at her. Or rather, Adagio and Araya grinning wickedly down at her, Sonata just looking like she was happy to be outside. Ah, Christ. I was wondering where these three had gone to, since the last chapter.
Why is Starfire asking if anybody's still in the chat?
No idea.
There's only 8 people here.
It's not a big a deal. Anyways, Sunset made a phlegmy sound as she wiped her arm under her nose and rose to her feet. Ah, what are you three psychos doing here? She asked as she brushed apple and pastry mush off her face and jacket. Adagio put on a fake taken-aback expression. Why, Sunset, I'm hurt, Adagio said as she motioned to herself. And after we hit it off so well yesterday... Sunset sighed. Right, sorry, just having a bad day here. And it's barely started even. I guess I shouldn't take it out on you and... Hit it off? Sonata cried. Here we go. I thought you said we might have to do something about that stupid preppy Shimmer girl if we ever want our plans to succeed. Yeah, there she goes again.
Keep it going, Sonata. Sooner or later, Sunset will get a clue that says you're fucking evil.
Adagio tensed her fingers and held her palms upwards as she made a face at the sky as if asking it, why? Yeah, that's pretty much what I'd do in that situation if I were Adagio. And then after that pink-haired girl made a song about wearing pink, you said we definitely had to do something about her and her friends, Sonata added. Araya glared at Sunset. As Sonata,
yes.
Ugh, why do we even let you outside? Sonata grinned. Because you have no choice now that I figured out how locks work? Oh, Christ. She figured out how locks work. Should we be scared?
I'd be more worried if she actually knew how to lockpick.
Yeah. It's just, wow, you know? Alright, well, I briefly lost my place. Where was I?
Because you have no choice now that I figure out how the locks work.
Sunset shook her head. I'm not sure why I keep trying to be nice to everyone. All my friends are crazy. Most of the school still despises me. Excuse me. And now that some new students have come along, they turn out to be as crazy as I was when I first got here. Seriously? Sunset cried as she gave the girls a serious look. Do you have any idea how hard it is to be nice most of the time? I'm trying so flippin' hard, but does the universe throw me a bone? Sunset looked up at the sky and held her palms upward. No! The universe is just going to rain garbage on me. I mean, what the hell? Why do I have to volunteer for to make people stop hating me? How many school events do I have to help at until it just stops? Tears began to stream down Sunset's eyes. I just want everyone to stop staring at me like they wish I was dead. Is that really so much to ask? And she cries. Screw it, I'm just gonna let Alex take this one for me. There. May as well use that clip because there's no way I'm gonna attempt to do that. The other three girls just stood and stared at Sunset, unsure of how to respond. They turned and looked at each other. Sonata's eyes grew wide and puppy-doggish. Adagio puffed out her lower lip ever so slightly. Even the almost continually grumpy Araya pursed her lips into a sad frown. Jeez.
You're getting pity from your antagonists.
Mm-hmm.
How pathetic is that?
Very. Very much.
Yep.
Adagio walked up to Sunset and put a hand on her shoulder. Wow. Look, this crying is actually making us feel a little bad here. if I gave you some money right now, would you stop so this whole exchange becomes a lot less awkward for us? Jeez. Bribery. Never gets old.
I wouldn't call it bribery. I just say, here, let's just forget this happened.
Mm-hmm. I can get behind that. Sunset uncovered her face. Tears still fell from her eyes, and even a little bit of snot hung from her nose. Ugh. She ran her jacket-covered arm under her nose. How much you got? Adagio looked over at Sonata. Sonata? Sonata smiled and reached into her jacket, pulling out a wallet that she handed to Adagio. God. Sunset wiped a hand across her face, clearing away her tears. Wait, you let the airhead carry the cash? She asked in disbelief. Adagio simply looked at the wallet as she opened it up and pulled a crisp $20 bill out. She's the only one whose outfit actually has pockets. Well, he's got us there.
Fuck, I can't even rebut it.
Me either. Sunset raised an eyebrow. Why don't you, I don't know, just dress like normal people then? Adagio shot Sunset a glare. Hey! Araya cried. You want to get paid to stop your pathetic crying or not? Because I'm starting to feel a lot less bad here. Sunset began tearing up again and even managed a few more pained cries. Adagio nodded. Better, she said as she handed Sunset the bill. Sunset quickly ran her arm over her face and dried her tears again before shoving the bill in her jacket. How do you three manage to make the students assault me with gum for not wearing pink and pelt me with apples and stuff anyhow? Make? Adagio said as she gave Sunset a devious grin. Oh, Sunset, why would you even suggest something as outlandish as us being able to make people do anything? Yeah, Sonata said, speaking up. It's not like we incite agitation in other people through our songs and magical gems.
Huh. Well, spoiled. I guess I can't watch EQG Rainbow Rocks.
Adagio gritted her teeth and turned to face Sonata as she quickly crossed her arms into the shape of an X several times. What? Sonata protested. I said it's not like we incite, so we'd totally be in the clear and she'd suspect nothing. Oh my gosh, Sonata, Araya cried. Just drown while drinking from a water fountain already. Ha! Sonata replied. Joke's on you. I always remember to wear my arm floaties when I drink from water.
Why did they let her? Why did they let her hang around with them? It's like she's almost she's brain dead or something. I don't know.
Again, she's even more of a dumbass here than she was in the movie. That is saying a lot. Congrats to you, Justice.
Congratulations.
Continuing on. Sunset sighed. Not sure if you guys noticed, but it seems getting the student body to do what you want through the, Sunset air quoted, magic of song isn't exactly some big accomplishment around here. Adagio narrowed her eyes at Sunset. Oh, we noticed, and we intend to do something about it. How? By getting the student body to harass me? Student asked. That's barely a change to how they already act around me, and even if you do somehow take me out, you'll never be able to deal with my friends. My, Adagio purred with a devious smile. You're so confident in them. Sunset shook her head. No, I mean, you won't be able to deal with how bat-guano crazy they all are. These girls grow long ponytails and their ears change into horse ears when they play instruments. Oh wow, nice one. You didn't even need Sonata for that one. Nice going, Sunset. Then they just go on about their days as if it's no big deal. Heck, Rarity just wants to figure out how she can accessorize better for when they start floating in the air and their flippin' bodies transform. Adagio suddenly looked at Sunset with great interest. Horse ears, you say? She did say! Sonata cried, pointing at Sunset. They must be the source of the equestrian magic we're looking for! Adagio gritted her teeth and cringed slightly. Araya wheeled on Sonata. Sonata! Yes, Araya? Sonata asked with a sweet smile on her face. I hope you die before your wedding!
How about right now? That'll be a while.
It's not a frown. I'm not getting married. Or am I? Sunset smacked a palm against her face and shook her head. Oh, hell. Did Mom shove you three through the portal because you were all too insufferable to keep back home? Excuse me?
Probably.
Note she said Mom.
Probably their mother.
Let's keep reading. Adagio raised an eyebrow. Mom? It's not a gasp. She must be Celestia's daughter! Huh?
Nah, I don't think Sunset is Celestia's daughter.
Sonata! Araya snarled. What? You are just so dumb! Araya cried. I have no idea how you even remember to keep breathing! Well, that is a good point. Sonata stuck out her tongue. Takes one to know one! Adagio sighed. That was a nice secret plan we had once. Sunset rolled her eyes. If you say so. Adagio looked at Sunset. So, if you're really Celestia's daughter, how come we've never heard of you? Really? Going on about this?
Celestia had no daughters. God!
Sunset cringed. I'm not actually Sunblood's daughter. Look, it's complicated, alright? Adagio squinted at the symbol on Sunset's chest. Wait, is that your cutie mark? Sunset glanced down briefly. Yeah? So? So you're telling me you're not Sunblood Jr.? Sunset looked down at her shirt again. Go on, what?
Sunblood Jr.?
I know. I can't even. Look, just drop it, alright? The point is, I know where you're from, and I know quite a bit about your evil plan. Araya sighed and glanced at Sonata. Gee, I wonder how that happened. For realsies, right? Sonata cried. She must be like the world's greatest detective or some junk.
Or it says she just listened in onto such a blabbermouth like Sonata.
Indeed. Oh, please, Sunset said. Sonata may have given me the lion's share of info, but she's hardly the only one to blame. Adagio sighed. Dang it, Araya! Me? Araya cried as she pointed to herself. You think this is my fault, too? Well, you are an idiot, Adagio said. And it's not like you're making such a big deal out of everything Sonata says doesn't even draw more attention.
Ah, shit. Hold on. Shit. Hang on, we got a little cut.
God dang it, I knew that was going to happen at some point.
Surprisingly, we went through about an hour. Well,
alright, where'd I cut off?
Well, you are an idiot, Adagio said. And it's not like you make such a big deal out of everything Sonata says, doesn't draw even more attention to it.
Sonata chuckled as Araya let out a frustrated growl. Actually, Sunset said, it was all three of you. Oh, please, Adagio said dismissively. You can't expect me to believe you picked up anything from... Sunset pointed behind the three. Oh, look! Equestrian magic! Where? Adagio cried as she and the other two girls turned and looked at excited, slightly wicked expressions. What?
It worked! How the hell?
That is... Sunset folded her arms across her chest as a smug, self-content smile spread across her face. Adagio sighed as she continued to stare off into the empty campus of CHS. You said that hoping we'd do exactly what we just did, didn't you? Pretty much, yeah.
And it worked.
Sunset answered. Woo! Sonata cried. She is good! The three turned back to face Sunset. Adagio and Araya's faces had flushed red. Sonata just looked impressed. Look, girls, Sunset began. Believe it or not, I know a lot more about what you're going through than you think. Why don't you just come clean with me and my friends? They're insane, but they usually mean well enough. I'm sure between all 9 of us, we can work something out without ridiculous songs and, more importantly, me getting assaulted every morning. Adagio narrowed her eyes. And if I say no and we continue with our evil plan, she air-quoted, Oh, sure, Sonata said. Just tell her everything, why don't you? Well, Araya grit her teeth as she closed her eyes and brought her fingers up to her temples. What are you doing? Sonata asked. I'm trying to hate you to death. Ooh, let me know if it works, Sonata said.
Not without a knife.
Oh, don't worry. You'll be the first to know, Araya replied. Sunset rolled her eyes. Then you'll fail, and it will probably suck big time for you. My friend's already tangled with a bitter, irate, testy, cold-hearted opponent and her 2 moron minions before her, and they apparently came out with magical powers from the whole thing. Not to mention, this time, or that time, they were at least up against one person who wasn't a complete moron. Can't believe I'm saying this, but why not try giving the... Sunset's light orange skin began to turn slightly green. Not that I care, Adagio said, but are you feeling nauseous? Sunset leaned down slightly, prospering an arm against her leg while she held the other one up. I'll be fine, but you 3 should give the... give the... Jeez.
What the hell? Is she coming out with a cold or something?
Sunset's eyes went wide and teared up a little. She took a few deep breaths and quickly said, Magic Freeze, have a chance!
Painful to say, huh, former demon? I think we went... Hold on. Come on. Come to me.
I'm here.
There we go.
Where did it cut off?
You just stopped that magic of friendship a chance.
Yeah. Quick speak. Sounds horrible, Adagio said. Yeah, Araya agreed. Like, maybe worse than Sonata, even. Sonata cried as she bent down. Girls! This place is free ground muffins!
God. Smite Sonata now.
She declared as she surfaced with a half-squashed apple muffin with a bite mark taken out of it. I stand corrected, Araya said, as Sonata began munching on her mushy muffin. Ugh. Well, she did eat paint chips, so I guess that's not a surprise. Sunset took a few more deep breaths and stood back up to her full height. It is pretty terrible, but it beats the hell out of the alternative. Like, it literally does that. Adagio smirked. I think you've been misled on how to use the word literally. Sunset lowered her eyebrows slightly. Oh, I know what I said. Adagio's smirk vanished. Look, we didn't come to this school to hunt for scraps. Oh my gosh! Sonata squealed in delight. They're growing apple fritters here, too! I know. Araya crossed her fingers and closed her eyes. Oh, please get a bacterial infection and die. Oh, please. Most of us didn't come to this school to hunt for scraps, Adagio corrected. If getting what we wanted means some sort of magical showdown, then so be it. Come on, girls. With that, Adagio and the 3 girls turned and walked away. Fine! Sunset shouted after them. I can use a few more people the school hates at least as much as me. Go ahead, fall on your faces. I'll be the first in line to point and laugh this time. Sunset watched as the girls made their way to the school. She sighed and shook her head. This is going to suck. Again, poor Sunset.
Shit. She has to put up with this shit.
Excuse me 1 second, I'm just gonna go grab some water.
By the way, tomorrow I'm not sure if I want to deal with Shigabane Hime or Zombieland. Fuck Zombieland. Either Shigabane Hime or The Walking Dead or whatever. Whichever it is, so fuck it.
And I return. Alright, who's next? Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash has a song.
Yes.
Oh, a little notification from FIM Fiction. Site updates will be going ahead at about 4 a.m. General Mountain Time, which will mean 11 p.m. Eastern. Site will go down at that point. Make sure you're ready. Can we finish this before 11 o'clock?
Probably.
See how
All
far we
right,
can
chapter
go.
3. Chapter 3, Rainbow Dash's song. Still sporting the odd stain here or there from apple and bakery mush, Sunset Shimmer stormed over to her usual table and set her tray down in front of her as she sat down. All her other friends had already arrived, excuse me, and she quickly scanned over them, paying close attention to Fluttershy's meal. Instead of celery, her main course appeared to be an apple with a side of applesauce and an apple juice box. All right, Sunset said. Well, before I force at least one other food group down Fluttershy's throat, and before I talk about the new danger befalling our school, Sunset turned and faced Applejack. I'd like to call and discuss why the heck I got attacked with apples and apple products this morning! Applejack's eyes went wide, and she turned and gave Sunset a somewhat pleading expression. I had to do it! I just had to! My poor family would starve if apple sales dropped!
Honey, there's a lot more apples in the world, and a lot more apple producing farms than you do. You got nothing.
Sunset sighed and shook her head. Applejack, your family owns more land than anyone else at the school. Your orchard supplies every apple served in school, probably in the town, and many places both national and international. Your family employs dozens of workers. Your family even had that ridiculous farm-themed house built near town so you could be closer to school. Sunset narrowed her eyes. Your family may be the richest in the entire city. You did not need to sing a little ditty encouraging the entire school body to eat apples to keep your business in the black. Wait a minute, Pinky said, tapping an index finger against her cheek. If Applejack's family has so much money, how come her grandma works in the school? Good question. Sunset rolled her eyes. Because she wanted something to do during the day, and cafeteria work was easier than farm work, and she makes a killing ordering all the apple stuff from her own farm. Sunset turned her head towards Applejack. Already! She stressed. She shook her head. I mean, how much money do you need, AJ? Applejack folded her arms over her chest and gave Sunset a sullen look. BMWs don't just pay for themselves, you know.
She drives a BMW?
That's what I want to know.
God almighty, no, fucking no.
Yeah.
That's a fucking ugly car. You can ask Jeremy Clarkson. They're kind of ugly.
Whatever, Sunset cried. I don't know how much wearing pink and sustaining myself on apples and apple-themed pastries is going to keep me going. Not to mention that daily abuses from thanks to the latest transfer from another world students. Someone has to do something. Sunset paused and added, on that note, those 3 new students are Avon from Equestria. Sunset's friends gasped. What do we do? Fluttershy asked. Sunset shrugged. We could probably just beat them up. We outnumber them 2 to 1. Fluttershy began speaking out something incomprehensible as she slowly lowered herself in her chair in an attempt to get smaller. Sunset rolled her eyes. Almost 2 to 1. She turned and scowled at Rarity, Suzu. Unless the other girly girl can't be bothered to get her hands dirty either. Rarity smirked and cracked her knuckles. Are you kidding? Those 3 are an eyesore. It looks like they escaped from the 80s after stealing the clothes from glam rock band. Ooh. Ouch.
Ooh, don't tell that to Jim at Holograms.
Sunset chuckled. Jeez, I know, right? You'd think if they were going to pick a musical theme, they'd settle on something that doesn't require enough hairspray, and the 3 of them are an environmental hazard. Damn.
Be careful, though. You don't want too much hairspray in an enclosed room. You pass out. I'm surprised they're still living, though, come to think of it, if they use that much.
Sunset and Rarity giggled to themselves, and even Pinky, Fluttershy, and Applejack joined in the soft laughter. With a rather distant look on her face, Rainbow Dash sighed and muttered, if only Twilight was here. Sunset turned and gave Rainbow Dash a surprised look. What? There's more of us! We should totally just mop the floor of these three. Purple Pony Princess probably doesn't even know we have a problem. Pinkie clapped. Ooh, that was 5 P words, she exclaimed before reaching into her hair. You get a gold star!
Pinkie, you're worse than Sonata. Stop it.
She said, as she placed a gold star sticker on Sunset's chest. Sunset looked down at the star, then up at Pinkie. Thank you, she said with a nervous smile. Anytime! No, not that, Rainbow Dash said. Being lead singer is cool and all, but I want to concentrate on my guitar work. Sunset went back to glaring at Rainbow Dash. What? So I need Twilight, Rainbow Dash said. Or at least someone who sounds just like her when she sings.
Oh dear. Sunset, you might as well just go ahead. Say what everybody here is thinking, probably.
Sunset suddenly closed her eyes and began chanting, Find your center. Find your center. She opened her eyes and smiled. Gee, Rarity, maybe you're right about meditating at lunchtime. I've reached a zen-like state where I feel my anger and stress just drift away. You're choking, Rainbow Dash. You're choking, Rainbow Dash, dear, Rarity replied. Just drift away! Oh boy.
Yes! She finally does something!
Just drift away! Sunset said through gritted teeth as her lips opened into a mad grin. Rainbow Dash struggled to get Sunset's hands off her neck. Hey, AJ! Pinkie sang out. I bet you $10 Rainbow Dash escapes! You're on, Applejack said. For goodness sakes, you two! Rarity cried. Sunset might kill her! Sunset looked at Pinkie with a mad grin. I'll let go for 5. Deal, Pinkie said. Sunset let go of Rainbow Dash, who collapsed to the table and began taking long, deep breaths as she rubbed her neck. Ah, shucks, Applejack said as she reached into her pockets. Rainbow Dash shot a glare up at Applejack. I mean, glad you're okay, Rainbow.
I need to commission somebody to do a picture of that.
Yeah.
We should totally do that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Anyways, Fluttershy looked over at Sunset with a slightly nervous expression. Isn't fighting exactly what those new girls want us to do? Shoot, you're right, Sunset said. Guess we should at least deal with those 3 crazy Equestria girls before we tear ourselves apart. Pinkie giggled. Sunset, we're all Equestria girls.
You're a disgrace.
Advertising whore. What? Sunset said as she cocked an eyebrow. Pinkie, that doesn't make sense. Whatever, Rainbow Dash cried as she pushed herself away from the table. I'm going to get some air. Sunset chuckled to herself. I thought you got some when I let go. Try that again, can't English. Rainbow turned and pointed to her eyes with an index and middle finger, then turned her hand around at Sunset. No.
I'm gonna be watching you.
Sunset just smirked, a smirk that quickly vanished when she noticed everyone else at the table was glaring at her. What? Applejack sighed and shook her head. I know Rainbow has a bad habit of getting under people's skin, but don't you think strangling her was a bit much? What? Sunset cried. You bet against her getting out of my grip. Yeah, got her there.
Uh-huh.
Applejack frowned. Yeah, but still, it did seem a bit extreme, Fluttershy said. Sunset turned towards Fluttershy. As extreme as taping a funnel to your mouth and forcing you to eat oatmeal? Jeez.
I know we're desperate to get Fluttershy to eat properly, but Jesus, I think we just need to get her on a nice diet and not a forced diet.
I know. Fluttershy returned and speaking incomprehensibly. Everyone continued to glare at Sunset. Fine! Sunset said. I'll apologize to Dash when I see her next, but Fluttershy has to start eating meals with some real protein in them. Applejack, Rarity, and Pinky smiled. I don't see anything wrong with that, Pinky said. Rarity nodded. That sounds like a splendid compromise, especially since I don't have to do anything. Applejack nodded. A good idea if there ever was one. Fluttershy turned her head from side to side, looking at her friends. But I didn't agree to... Too late! Majority rules!
Yay! Politics!
Fluttershy puffed out her lower lip and stared on Orbit's face.
Oh, okay then.
The doors of the cafeteria swung open, and Rainbow Dash walked in, her guitar slung across her chest and a soccer ball at her feet. Sunset brought a palm up to her face. Oh, sweet lord, no.
Get out of there, now.
Rainbow Dash began to shred on guitar, rapidly plucking her fingers against the strings, causing notes to erupt from the instrument in rapid succession. Sunset Shimmer stared intently at Rainbow Dash. Girls, don't electric guitars need amps or something to... Rainbow suddenly stopped playing her guitar. She juggled the soccer ball with her feet briefly, then kicked it straight up a few feet, catching it in the hand, and she cried out as she lobbed into the cafeteria, Sports!
What?
What? Sunset cried. That wasn't even a sin. Wah! Sunset barely had any time to cry out in alarm as the soccer ball Rainbow Dash threw collided with her face. She fell out of her chair and onto the cafeteria floor.
That had to hurt. That's some odd revenge if I ever heard it.
I know. Hey! Pinky protested. Rainbow, darling, Rarity began. I know Sunset crossed the line earlier, but you shouldn't follow bad behavior with more bad behavior. That's right, Pinky agreed. Soccer balls are for kicking, not throwing. That's Pinky. From the cafeteria floor, Sunset moaned, hate you guys so much.
And the same thing will probably happen again.
Speak of the devil. Oh, come on! Sunset exclaimed as she found herself in the all-too-familiar position of having seen just this huge horse statue behind her and a semicircle of her schoolmates in front of her. I'm wearing pink! I'm eating an apple! What more do you want from... Are you all holding sports equipment?
I think Sunset's just being a little too behind on things.
So you're seriously telling me all Rainbow Dash had to do was strum her guitar and yell sports? And I mean, that gets him going too?
What's next?
Sunset looked over the crowd in front of her. Many were holding balls or something used to hit them with. Most were wearing cleats, and some were even wearing helmets, pads, or other protective gear. She doesn't have anything sports-related! Sips cried as she stepped forward from the crowd, wearing a football helmet, football pads, and brandishing a cricket bat. He pointed accusingly at Sunset. Sips, what the heck is up with your outfit? Sunset cried. You look like an extra from The Road Warrior.
Oh,
yeah.
That was a decent movie.
I know. Nice reference. Yeah, Sail said as she was wearing golf cleats, boxing gloves, a bike helmet, and held a lacrosse stick in one hand. Let's teach her a lesson! Sunset sighed. Snails, you just look like you're waiting way too hard. Let's do sports! Let's do sports at her! Someone from the crowd yelled. Okay, just... What? Sunset said. That doesn't make sense! You can't just throw the concept... You can't... Can't English again. You can't just throw the concept of sports at me. You said sports balls or... Let's throw sports balls at her! Sunset frowned. Speaking of balls, I'll just huddle up into one now. Yeah. True to her word, Sunset got on the ground and hugged her knees as the suits started hurling balls of all sorts and sizes at her. Ow. 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 Frickin' ow! Who carries around a medicine ball?
Oh, fuck! Those medicine balls fucking hurt! I dealt with one in high school.
Yeah. Soon the crowd parted, leaving Sunset huddled on the ground in the fetal position, surrounded by a number of balls from all kinds of different sports. Sunset...
Sorry. Dirty image. Sorry.
Yeah. We're so mature. Sunset uncurled and woozily stood to her feet, steadying herself at the statue next to her. She only said one word! You freaking conformist! Sunset's lower lip began to quiver as she rubbed her hands over her bruised and battered body. Tears began to stream down her cheeks. She only said one word! How was I supposed to know? Poor Sunset.
Not a break. Why don't you just stay home, Sunset? Just stay home.
Prince.
Fake sick.
Aw. Speaking of which, doesn't that just break your heart, girls?
God fucking damn it.
Sunset let out a
Adagio,
groan.
I bet.
Yep. Sunset let out a groan as she heard Adagio's mocking voice.
God.
It's a pretty sorry sight, alright. Araya said with a smirk on her face. For realsies, right? Sonata said with a nod as she gave Sunset a concerned look. This is like the third day of her being attacked. It's just so sad. Well, at least she's actually being sympathetic for once.
Sympathetic, but
Adagio.
not dumb as a sack of hammers.
Yeah. Adagio facepalmed. Sonata, can't you just settle for giggling darkly to yourself or something? What? Sonata said as she looked back and forth between Adagio and Araya. I was doing what you two were doing. Your tone was all wrong, Araya cried. You didn't sound sarcastic. Ooh, is that what we were doing? You were just so dumb, Araya cried. Why would we suddenly start being so nice to Sunset? Sonata replied, she just looks so huggable.
I don't recommend hugging her. She had a medicine ball attacked to her. I don't think she'd need to be hugged. I think she will probably need some medical attention.
Sunset wiped her jacket sleeve under her nose to wipe away the snot that had begun to trickle down her nose as she whimpered. Adagio and Araya looked at Sunset, then exchanged a quick smirk. Oh, clearly, Adagio said. Shut up! Sunset cried. Look, I told my friends about you and the 5 of us are going to clean your girls' clocks. Sonata cried, oh no! You forgot to dust our clocks!
Moron.
Yep. Araya's pupils dilated as she simply stared off into space as her shoulders slumped. Adagio glanced at Sonata, then gave Sunset a smug smile. If you told them, why didn't you all try to do something yesterday? Okay, so maybe I forgot to rally them yesterday, Sunset sheepishly, but soon! Adagio continued to smile smugly at Sunset. I'm sure. Hey! I had a soccer ball thrown right into my face and knocked me onto the hard cafeteria floor! Sunset cried. Taking out you 3 dropped in priority once get treated for concussion began my #1 focus. Sonata said, wait, someone threw a soccer ball at you? That's horrible! No kidding, Sunset cried. It was just lobbed right in my face. Soccer balls are for kicking, Sonata said.
God damn it.
Sunset's jaw unhinged as her eyes filled with rage. You know, unless it was the goalie, Sonata added. Araya turned with an expression that usually signified she was about to berate Sonata. However, it softened as she noticed Sunset's expression. You know what? I'm just gonna let you have this one. That is it! Sunset declared angrily. The 3 girls looked surprised for a beat, but quickly returned to smiling at Sunset with smug expressions. Aww, is little baby gonna cry? Adagio said while mocking rubbing her eyes. You shut your damn whore mouth! Whoa!
I think we just went PG-13.
God damn! Sunset cried as she leveled an angry index finger and stormed up to Adagio. The 3 girls all took a half-step back as Sunset shot them all a furious expression. Listen, you hair metal rejects! I used to rule this school with an iron fist! Everyone here lived in mortal fear over the idea that Sunset Shimmer would destroy their reputations and let out their most closely guarded secrets if they so much as looked at me the wrong way. I turned people into laughingstocks for the prettiest reasons with only a couple of morons to help me. Now I have 5 semi-sane girls on my side. Now, for some stupid reason I'm still trying to be good here, So we'll give you all one last chance. Sunset's expression softened silently. Stop with the magic music nonsense, or I'll show you three just how truly awful high school can be. I'll make you three look so bad you won't be able to step 1 foot out of the school without being ridiculed. Not even your stupid songs will save you. Jeez. Good God.
Shit.
She is pissed.
At this point, I might as well be too.
Adagio slowly lowered her eyelids to match Sunset's scowl and pushed Sunset's finger out of her face. What makes you think you can find something to humiliate us with? Because you three are idiots, Sunset answered. I bet you can't even walk away from this conversation without embarrassing yourselves. Adagio looked back towards Sonata, who shrugged, and Araya, who merely narrowed her eyes. She turned back to Sunset. Do your worst. We're not going to be intimidated by a girl with bacon hair. Ooh!
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Sunset gritted her teeth. Oh, it is on! Oh boy. They just fucked with the wrong girl. As the three walked away, Sonata slipped on a ball and reached out for Araya, who in turn reached out for Adagio as the three quickly fell to the ground in a heap of limbs, hair, and gaudy accessories. Sunset quickly reached into her coat, pulled out her cell phone, and in a flash of fingers began recording the three as they flailed amongst each other and cursed each other loudly. She smirked. Let the games begin.
I'd say we end there.
Yes, that was nuts.
At least I fared better than the previous installment.
Yeah, and this, oh god, next is Fluttershy.
How is she gonna do this? She barely does much.
No idea. We'll find out next time. I'm getting out of here for the night.
Yeah, hopefully though, because the people keep noticing the interruptions, I'm hoping the recording isn't interruptive as well.
Hopefully. Well, I'll see you lovely people around.
Okay, later.